Hey, how many people are you expecting?
Relax, it's an open invite.
I think you're a few seats short.
Yeah, like 14 seats.
You should enter your eligible New York lottery draw game tickets with Collect and Win. You could win a $5,000 gift card to use at the Home Depot and buy a bigger table to host.
Hopefully they also sell chairs.
The Home Depot is not a sponsor of this promotion. You must be 18 years or older to purchase a lottery ticket. You must be 21 or older to purchase a quick draw ticket where alcoholic beverages are served. Please play responsibly. Entered by 1720.
Welcome to Dare a New Belief, a place to discover what is possible for your life after the loss of a loved one, and where you will find inspiration, insight, support, and love, and hopefully a bit of laughter to help you through your day. Now, here's your host, Nada Hogan.
Welcome to Dare a New Belief, where you will find light and life, love and joy, healing, faith, and hope. A place where you get to believe what is possible for your life. And today I get to welcome back the wonderful Kim Sutton, and I'm so happy to have you back with me again today. And Kim is the founder, the CEO, the CFO, the every title of Positive Productivity. And positive productivity, there's a lot of arms with that. Thank you so much for joining me again, Kim.
Thanks for having me back, Nada.
I'm so happy to have you here with me again. And I just want to make sure that I give a plug to your positive productivity podcast. You do many different things, but one of the things that you do is the Positive Productivity podcast. And I've listened to so many episodes that you have, and you are so real and so honest, and you just share from the heart. And it's one of the things that I think is so powerful for this world to heal, and for us to individually be able to heal when we know that other people struggle, have had struggles, maybe are in the middle of a current struggle, or are feeling like they're teetering, like, like this thing is happening right now, and this reminds me of something, very traumatic or painful that happened to me in the past. Because I think that we're kind of taught and conditioned to paint a beautiful picture of your life and everything is fine, when in the truth you're falling apart inside. And I just want to make sure that you know how much I honor your authenticity and your truthfulness and the courage it takes to be honest about struggles that you go through in your own personal life, Kim.
Oh, thank you so much.
Oh man, it's powerful, and I think it helps the whole entire world heal. One of the things that we talked about on our episode a week ago is you were sharing that one of the things that happened with you, and I believe I have the date correct, in 2008, when there was a lot going on in your life, and there was some sleep deprivation and a nervous breakdown, for lack of a better word. And I don't know, maybe that's actually what the diagnosis was, but you ended up in the hospital for a while. And you said also that you were suicidal. And I'm just curious about that, because there's such a increase in suicides right now. And what did that feel like, Kim? How did you pull yourself out of that? What was the thing that turned things around for you, that you left that thought and you stayed here with us on this planet?
Well, thank you so much for asking. And anybody who is considering suicide, please don't. You have such a story to share, and I wouldn't be able to do what I do today if I had acted on that. And I want you to know, Nada, that it was twice. The first time was in 2008, and I wound up in the mental hospital involuntarily. I told my husband, who's now my ex-husband, that I was feeling suicidal, and he had me admitted, which I used to be so angry about, but I do appreciate now. Hey, I've got stories out of that place. Someday there will be a book.
Oh,
Probably not, but Um, what they found when I got there, well, I'm a little mixed on that situation, and I'd actually like to talk more about the most recent one. But what I want to address about that one was that I was neglecting my thyroid, and I've had hypothyroidism since birth. And I also
Mm.
wasn't sleeping. And sleep deprivation is an ugly beast if you allow it to take the best of you. So it was sleep deprivation in my thyroid. Your thyroid should be between, I think, a point 0.1 and point 0.2. I am not a doctor, people. So if you know the correct number, you can leave a comment down below the show notes. I'm sure Nada won't mind. But mine was 168.
Ooh.
And the doctor said, "We're surprised you're still alive." So in that circumstance, I have to be honest and say I got out of it because they prescribed a whole lot of drugs, which in my opinion, I didn't need. I needed to get sleep and I needed to take care of my thyroid, and that would have taken care of it. Fast forward to 2016, I had been running my business 4 years, and I had given birth to twins in January of 2015, and our family was now 7. My husband was working outside of the home as a retail manager, not making a whole lot of money, and there was just a lot of pressure on me, and I was also undervaluing myself significantly. So I was working, I would have to say 18 to 20 hours a day again because
Oh.
I didn't learn the first time. And I was also looking at the influencers who shared the pretty side. And I was thinking, why is it working for them and it's not working for me?
Yeah.
I felt like the universe was out to get me. And I remember one night, and I've actually shared with this influencer what I went through, and we've had some amazing conversations out of it. But I shared with my husband, I said, maybe I should just cut my hair off and dye it turquoise like Kimra Luna did, because Kimra was the person that I was idolizing right then. And he said, baby, you are Kim. You are not Kimra. You are not cutting your hair to try to be somebody else because you are you. So that was a little bit of the beginning, but I was laying in bed one night, completely sleep deprived, and I was just praying to God to help me because I was having all these horrible thoughts. And in between the first suicidal thought in 2008 and this one, my older stepbrother died.
Mm.
And it's still an open investigation. They still don't know how he died. Some
Oh.
of the officials think murder, some think assisted suicide, but we don't have answers. So I was praying, please, God, help me get out of this. Please take these feelings away. And I remember it was July 2016. It was after the sun had set. I was laying in my bed and I just had my eyes shut and I saw the most horrible monsters behind my closed eyelids. And I hate horror movies with a
Yeah.
passion. I can't stand to watch them, but I was seeing worse than I'd ever seen in a horror movie behind my eyelids. And I just kept on praying. And this is one of those crazy experiences that until you experience the own version yourself, you'll think, oh my gosh, is she nuts? Does she need to be on some crazy meds? No.
Yeah.
There was this bright white flash of light, and I saw an angel wing,
Oh, wow.
and the monsters went away, and I fell into the best sleep that I had had in years.
Wow.
Do you want to hear the craziest part, though?
Yeah.
Crazy awesome. I mean, I came out to my desk the next morning. I felt so rested, so great. And a couple of years prior, my now 14-year-old son had given me an angel bell for Christmas. And I'm not an angel person. I just need to say that. I've just never been attracted to them. But they're on my desk, and I don't even know where the angel bell was the day before. It's like one of those pottery pieces that the kids make for you, and you sort of tuck it away in a corner out of sight.
Sure. Yep.
But it was laying on my desk on its side with a wing broken off.
Oh, you're kidding.
Nope. So now I thought I had thrown it out because I'm like, okay, I have young children. This is a piece of ceramic. It's going to cut somebody. I thought I had thrown it out. And I was actually cleaning up my office and rearranging furniture a couple months ago. And I found the angel wing behind a bookshelf when I was cleaning. So it's now a fixture right behind me. Every day I can see it.
Wow. Wow. I love that. Now, this is one of those synchronicities, and this isn't, fireworks and, angel trumpets coming out of the heavens, but the little synchronicities, all of them add up, and it just always lets us know we're on the right path. My sister-in-law, after my daughter passed away, my sister-in-law had made this, um, I believe she calls it garden art, and it's a bunch of like vases and plates. It's she made it herself. It's very artistic. It's beautiful, and it's just beautiful green glass and white glass and plates and saucers, and at the very top was an angel, and we had it out at the cemetery, and it had tipped over, and it broke off. What? One wing. It broke off one wing, and then we just always giggled, saying, well, this is, Dara's just hovering. She's just in this this holding pattern of going in a circle because she lost that one wing. But I love it because I've spoken with you so many times. I never heard the story about the angel being there. I never heard the story about 2016 and what had happened. I love these synchronicities. So I'm sorry for interrupting, but when a synchronicity shows up, I have to say something because it helps us to know that, oh my gosh, everything that I'm doing 100% on the right path.
Absolutely. And I interrupt all the time. So
Yeah.
I'm muting myself when you're talking just so I don't accidentally interrupt you. But I want to share. So that was July of 2016, and I launched my podcast in October. And as I said, I was having difficulty because I was idolizing Camera Luna. And coincidentally, I launched my podcast on October 4th, 2016. The day, it was that same week, she actually put a post out. It was the first true, authentic post that I ever really noticed from her. And she expressed that she had been dealing for some time with anxiety and depression. And it had cost her clients, and it nearly shut down her business. And that was the first time that I really saw from her or from any of the people that I had been idolizing that there's imperfection on the backside. But I had already launched my podcast, and from the very beginning, I've been very straightforward because as hard as it might be for us to grasp sometimes, we're out there now. We are influencers in one way or another. And if any influencer wants to say that they're perfect, they're completely lying.
Right.
Because they're not. They've had their struggles. They probably are having them, every hour. I have challenges every hour. Google won't work properly some days.
Right.
But we have to admit that. And it's by admitting the struggles that we've gone through and overcome that we're able to help people get through their own.
Absolutely. And exactly what happened with you when we don't do that, when we are not being honest about it. I don't want to say lying about it, but when we're not being honest about it and we're putting on this complete facade that everything in my world is just 100% perfect, then it makes other people feel less than. Well, how come I can't do it? If this person can do it, how come I can't do it? Right. And that's what you had said is, why am I doing this wrong? How am I doing this wrong? And it's because it wasn't the truth. You weren't doing it wrong, but this other person was showing it, portraying it, presenting it in a way that was not the truth. And when we really can be honest about the struggles that we have, God, we help one another, whether it's in building their business or raising children, because I know mothers go through this all the time, that they have to be so successful at having that career and managing everything at home and managing the children. And I did it with 2 kids, and it was completely overwhelming. It's like, no, I don't want to carry that burden. I don't want to put on this picture that I've got it all together, because I don't. I want help. I want my husband to be in here helping me with this. And when I need help, I want to be able to reach out to a friend or to another mom and say, God, are there days that you just think, oh, I don't think I'm going to get through this day. And at this moment, I wish I could just pack up and run away and never have to come back home again. And I had many moms say, absolutely, I feel that like every hour of the hour.
I was about to say at least once a week.
Right. And all of a sudden it allows us to feel okay. It's like, I'm not a bad mom. I'm not doing this wrong. It's everybody feels this too. We're just not running around going, hey, hi, I'm having a super crappy day. How about you? Right. I mean, we tend to show up a little bit differently when we're out in public. So this is the thing that I admire so much about you, because I think you were the first person that I really got to hear on air as an influencer who really was able to say, no, it's not all pretty. They're like, it's messy, and these are struggles that I've had, and these are struggles that I'm having right now, and I just honor that, because I truly believe that is how we heal, because we get to see this person has the same thing I have, and she's able to get to this place. So if I can take the steps that she took, taking care of myself, maybe checking my thyroid, not working eight, I don't even know how anybody can work 18 to 20 hours. I've never had that problem. But you heal other people by healing yourself, and sharing the struggles that you've gone through.
Absolutely. And I think you may have heard this story before, but we've gone through so much in our business, or during the course of me having this business. I mean, my husband's car was repoed. We got it back. It took some time, but we got it back. Our water was shut off one day, and it snowed coincidentally that day. It doesn't snow a lot here in Southwest Ohio,
Yeah.
but my husband, he told my older boys, he says, you two can go pee outside. But while you're out there, bring in some snow so mom can use the toilet.
Yeah.
Listeners, the water was back on that same day, but there are those struggles that we'll face. And it's going to be the OSHIT moments, but you
Yeah.
get through them. I mean, sometimes I joke that if I were in the manure business, I would be totally rich, because I have dealt with my fair share of, you know,
Right, right. And isn't it, and that it was those life experiences that got you to where you are at now. Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah, without those life experiences, there would be a lot less stories. I don't even know what I would talk about. Yeah.
Right.
And
Right.
I am a mom of 5, and I burn every dinner I make. Every dinner.
Oh, good. You sound like me, because I don't remember, I think a comedian had said it first, and one of my kids had heard it and said, the smoke alarm is not the timer for the oven. And it was like, well, I get that, but it doesn't
Oh,
matter.
I love that.
Yeah, the smoke alarm. When the smoke alarm would go off, it's like, dang it, we knew dinner was done because my meal was burning. Oh my goodness.
I
So,
want to thank you for saying that, because you just reminded me that the batteries weren't plugged back in from the last time.
oh, very good. Yeah. Is that another synchronistic moment? I would say
Yes. Yes. Oh, I hope not, but yes.
yes. Yeah, absolutely. So, Kim, the 5 children that you have, then, do you have the 3 children from your previous marriage, and then the twins from your marriage now?
I have twins who are 4.5 and a 6-year-old from my husband now. And then the older 2 boys, who are both teenagers, are from my ex-husband.
Okay, okay. All right, good. Yeah. And how do you balance that? Because I know you have that work schedule, and prayerfully it's not the 18 to 20 hours a night anymore. But how do you find a way to balance that, the work that because I know that you have contracts and things, timelines, deadlines that you have to take care of. You also have the family and kids going here and there in every which direction, not driving your turquoise van, and leisure, some kind of playtime. How do you find what is the way that you balance that, and how can you is there a way that you can share that with the listeners? I had a heck of a time getting that out.
That's okay. Positive productivity does not mean perfection. I stumble over every sentence, but I got to be honest, this is one of those seasons for me that is not happening. It's very heavy in business focus, because not only do I have positive productivity, but I'm about to launch a new brand with a couple of friends, and I'm also about to go to my first speaking gig. Listeners, you can't have everything done on time all the time. And I need to add a preface for that. Like, I work my hardest to get stuff done for clients all the time, but when I stopped letting go of the deadlines for myself, that's when life became a lot easier. Often we put unrealistic deadlines on ourselves, and we create greater friction. But I am speaking in 5 days, and I have exactly 0 slides prepared. But I'm okay with that, because I know it's going to be done, and I need to just not stress about it, because the stress will become the cork in my bottle, and I don't need that. I want the cork untapped, and I want to be drinking whatever's inside.
Right, absolutely. And when that happens too, you can't even think clearly. You can't even make the slides because that nervous system kicks in. It's like, oh my gosh, I don't have enough time. There's only, so many hours left. And how am I going to do this? And it's not even in the creative focus anymore. So
Absolutely.
congratulations on this speaking gig. Where's it going to be and what are you speaking on?
So I'm going to She Podcast Live in Atlanta, and I'm giving a presentation on Pinterest for podcasters. The funny thing is, I'm the mom who burns every meal that I cook. I can't stand clothes shopping, and I am delinquent in the crafts category. Like, just meaning that I don't do enough there. And a lot of
Yeah.
people think that Pinterest is for women looking for clothes, crafts, and recipes. That's wrong. So I'm using it, and I have close to 1 million monthly viewers on Pinterest. So I'm going there to share the secrets. But what I want to say is that I go through periods of mama guilt and business guilt. And that feels horrible to say, but I'm just going to admit that when I'm spending time on my business, I feel bad that I'm not spending more time with my family. When I'm spending time with my family, there's always something I want to be doing in my business. So there really isn't a balance. We just need to have our goals in mind and know that, well, like the personal assistant story that you shared in that was the last episode, right?
Yeah, so.
That, let go of the things that you don't need to be doing yourself. I mean, the moment I let go of chores around the house, that was awesome. Unfortunately, it gets a little bit messy sometimes, but just stay focused on the end goal.
Yeah. Yeah. So who does the chores in your house now? Has that been that baton passed over to the children?
Yeah, they want allowance, so they get
Yeah,
chores.
I
The
love it.
littles still are resistant, but the laundry and the dishes get done by the teenagers, and that is amazing, especially for a family our size.
Absolutely. Yeah, because 7, that's a lot of people. That's a
Yeah.
lot of people. Yes.
Yep.
So are you doing something or are you as far as the mama guilt and the business guilt, is there something that you're doing to help with that or are you just allowing it to know that in this moment I'm feeling guilty because I have to work on this business, but I know this business piece, but I know that, in an hour, 2 hours or whatever that time frame is, that I'll be able to be back with my babies and I know that you have teenagers, but they're always babies for us. But you'll be back with them and spending quality time with them, or vice versa. I'll walk away from my children and come back and get some of this business done. Are you finding a way to balance that out, or is that still in the process of trying to find the best way to make that work for you?
Well, I'm confident in where I am right now, and I discuss with the teenagers and with my husband, here's what has to be done right now. And when this is done, it's done. And the next level is coming. But we can't reach that next level until my husband's a video game designer. So for any video game players out there, I feel like I'm level 0 entrepreneur. Okay, I'm not level 0, but just to give you the analogy, and I'm working my way up, right? I'm trying, and there's those certain achievements that we need to reach for each level. And with the newfound confidence and self-value, those were the two major ones. So now I just need to put the check marks next to the tasks that were attributed to the former level Kim, and then I can move on. And when that happens, it's going to be magical.
Yes, absolutely. I love that former level Kim, because that is what this is all about, right? Our awareness, our growth, our transformation into the best version of ourselves. And it's not going to stop. There's always another level. We're never not ever going to reach that stopping point. We're always going to be growing into our next best version and our next biggest potential of who and what we really are.
Absolutely. Can I give one tip for any listeners who are working on that next level? It's
Yeah.
really fast.
Yeah.
Put a picture. If the next level includes a material object, put that picture as the backdrop on either your computer, like on your desktop, or I have my dream house picture as the backdrop of my Gmail, and I see it all the time. And it's just a constant reminder. And then also, if it's a financial goal, make that your password. And you're constantly reinforcing it in your mind. This is what I'm doing.
I do the picture thing. I have vision boards everywhere. I always tell people, if you walk into my house, just know you're walking into affirmation notes and beautiful quote notes on sticky notes and on pieces of paper that are taped on the wall everywhere. But the financial goal as your password, that's phenomenal. I have
Yeah,
never heard of that. I love it.
yeah, and the likelihood of anybody hacking that who knows you is slim to none.
Right. That's awesome. That's awesome. Those are fantastic tips. I love it. Oh, Kim, you and I could sit and talk for so long. And sadly, we have already come up onto our 30 minutes here. As well as that tip that you just gave, is there anything else that you would like to offer the listeners? Anything about Pinterest or anything about upcoming events or something that you're doing?
I would love to share with listeners my Work Smarter, Not Harder 30-day challenge, which, seeing as it's a 30-day challenge, might sound like against what I'm doing, but it's a free challenge where each day I share a 2 to 8 minute video walking you through something that you can set up in your personal or professional life to help you take both to the next level. And you can find that at thekimsutton.com.
Awesome. I love that. Work Smarter, Not Harder 30-day challenge.
Yep.
Awesome. And again, listeners, if you're driving or you're not able to write that down, don't worry. It will all be in the show notes and how to contact Kim. So, Kim, I am so grateful. I know you're a busy woman, and I wish I was going to the She podcast to hear you speak, and because I know that you are wise beyond your years. And I just want to thank you for your time and your tips and sharing and being open and vulnerable and authentic. I just adore you. Thank you so much.
I adore you too, Nita.
Thank you. All right. And have a safe trip to Atlanta. I'm excited to hear how it all turns out. And in the meantime, for all of the listeners, thank you so much for joining us here again today. It's been my pleasure to be on the air with you and with Kim. And I am wishing you a most beautiful week, and look for all of the blessings that show up every day in your life. See you next week. Bye for now.
Thank you for spending time with us today. Please go to nadahogan.com for show notes and other information you can use right away. If you like what you heard here, please subscribe to our show, and don't forget to rate and review right there on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Google Play, or wherever you get your shows. And don't forget to tell your friends about it. We'll see you next week.
It's hosting season, which means it's too many people in the house season.
Can I sit on this? Nope.
Casserole burning in the oven season.
Anyone smell that? My yams!
And Aunt Meg giving advice season.
You should enter eligible New York Lottery draw game tickets with Collect and Win. You could win a $5,000 gift card to use at the Home Depot to make hosting a little easier.
Wow, Aunt Meg, that's actually great advice.
The Home Depot is not a sponsor of this promotion. You must be 18 years or older to purchase a lottery ticket. You must be 21 or older to purchase a quick draw ticket where alcoholic beverages are served. Please play responsibly. Ended by 1/7/20.
Is your cell phone bill out of control? Then this is your wake-up call. The new TracFone Wireless gives you unlimited talk and text starting at $20 a month, no contract, plus unlimited carryover data with active service. Yep, the new TracFone Wireless. Now you're in control. See terms and conditions at TracFone.com.